Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today in class I have some 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, and we're going to be learning about Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit was a character that a lady named Beatrix Potter invented. She knew a little boy named Noel who was very sick, and this happened over 100 years ago in 1893. The little boy was 5 years old, and he wasn't feeling well, and he had to stay in bed. So Beatrix Potter thought that she could draw little pictures and send them to him with little notes about adventures of the little characters she drew. And the character's name was, does anybody know?
Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit, great. And so Peter was on lots of adventures in Beatrix Potter's stories. Well, Noel liked the stories so much he kept on asking for more. So she wrote more stories about other characters too. Beatrix Potter lived in England, and she had a little garden. And in her garden she would see little creatures visiting, like frogs. So she made up stories about the frogs, and she called her frog Mr. Jeremy Fisher. And she had little hedgehogs visit her garden, and so she made up stories of Mrs. Tiggly Winkle. And then she had little mice visit her garden, and so this is Mrs. Tittlemouse. And her kittens in her garden became Tom Kitten. And the ducks that lived on her farm became Jeremiah Puddle Duck. And of course the little wild rabbits would visit. And this is Peter Rabbit's cousin, Benjamin Bunny. So these are just some of the characters that are in her storybook of Peter Rabbit. And there's little Peter Rabbit slipping underneath the gate of Mr. McGregor's farm. Do you remember why Peter Rabbit used to slip under the gate?
Yes.
What?
Because he would steal his radishes.
Yes, and cabbages and lettuce. So he would take all of those things, and his mother said, what? What did his mother say? Yes, do you know? Yes. Yeah, his mother told Peter, do not go in to Mr. McGregor's garden. She warned him. And so Peter, of course, wanted the delicious vegetables, and so he went into the garden. Well, today we're going to make Peter Rabbit, and we're going to draw him with some pens, or if you have pencils, you can use pencils. And you can even make the carrots. Look at these neat carrots. She did them with kind of wiggly lines, curvy lines. So let's begin. This is what we'll be making today, and this was done by a little girl who's 6 years old. And if you notice, she chose to make it a little bit different. She put a little green jacket on, and remember Peter had that little blue jacket in the story, but we're going to put a little any color jacket on Peter today. Okay, so we're going to hold our paper the long way. We're going to hold our paper the long way, and then the short end is going to be near our tummies or stomachs. So the short end is closest to us. If you take your hand and place your hand, look how my hand is horizontal, and the fingers are lined up right at the top of the page. And I'm going to take my pen. If you want to use a black pen, a Sharpie, I have a blue pen here, any dark color, or a pencil. I like the kids to use felt pens in my class. And just put a little horizontal line. That's to measure where the head will begin. This is an artist's guideline, and we use guidelines to help us place pictures on our paper. Directly underneath that little guideline now, just put your finger. Now look, this is the hand I draw with. I'm putting my finger here. And do 2 circles. See, right about where your fingernail is, go 1, And on the other side, 2. 2 circles. Now I'm going to go quick. And inside each circle now, the letter V. I start at the top of the circle and I touch the bottom of the circle and then I go straight up. And I do it on both sides. Now take and color that letter V in. That actually is the pupil. The pupil of the eyes. Yeah, and I did it in a V shape instead of a circle, so it's more like the rabbit eyes. Next step, we touch. We touch the circle, draw down, touch the circle, draw down, touch the circle, and draw down on both sides. Now put a line underneath the bottom, touching the circle first, bringing it over. Bringing it over, touch the circle, bring it over. You want to make sure you touch that circle. Now in the center, I am going to put the letter V. A straight horizontal line first. And then I'm going to do the letter V underneath. And this forms what shape here? Can you see that? The nose. And it's a what shape?
Triangle.
Good. Good. When I ring the bell, that means this is going to be the next step, so we pay attention. The next step is a number 1. And then we're going to make his little lips come up. So here we go. Over and up, over and up. And then we're going to put a chin on him, touching, down and up. Now we're going to go around his face. So we're going to touch the top of this line, and we're going to, I call it hugging really close. So watch. I draw my line around. Hugging really close. Hugging really close. You see how I'm making that circle? I'll give you a minute to do that, or a few seconds to do that. And now we're going to make the whiskers. Touch the line near the nose. We're right near it. And we're going to go across. And this is kind of going up. Let me do 3 of them first and then you do. I'm near the nose again. And I'm going to come down. I'm in the middle now. 1 line went up, 1 line went down, and 1 is going to go in the middle. And if you do it kind of fast, you get a better line. So watch. Nose out past. I kind of flicked my marker. Near the nose, down. Near the nose, in the center here, between those 2 lines, and go to the middle. And you get these nice long whiskers. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to start an ear. And we're going to come up, and if you want it bent, you can bend the ear, up and over. Up and over. Now, if I round it just a little bit, and I'll come out from here, and then I'm just going to kind of connect it. If you don't like a line, you can always redraw it, or look what we're going to do. If it's too skinny, sometimes the first time we do it, it's too skinny, but we can put the line on the inside to show this is the inside of the ear. So I started here and drew it to the edge. If those kind of ears are hard for you, you can just make long triangular ears. Watch. Up, up, and then down and back. That's a little bit straighter ear. So up, and I'm going toward the corner. Up, and then back down. Now for the body, we're going to come down straight, and I'm kind of flaring out. Down straight on this side. I've kind of flared out. It's okay if it's not exactly the same. Now I'm going to go over, like just go over a little bit toward the edge of the page. Just look, it's about a finger. A little bit bigger than a finger, and over. And then I'm going to bring this back up to the body. Back up to the body. This is Peter's jacket. Come to the edge now and go out, edge, out. Now look, I'm kind of in the middle here. And then bring this back to the body, this back to the body. So I'm coming back to the body, all in the same spot here where the head meets. Right where the head meets the body. The next step, now we've got to really pay attention because I go quick, down and up like a letter U, down and up like the letter U. If you notice, there's no time really for talking in between. We're here with a live class, and if they talk, then they miss the next step. That's why I have lots of kids doing it very nicely. So the next step is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Inside the pause, this kind of divides the split of their fingers. Now we're going to put some of Peter Rabbit's legs down at the bottom so I can make a straight line in the middle. And I can bring this line down so it kind of looks like an inverted V. And then I'm going to bring this over and over on the other side. And I'm just going to connect these together. Connect, connect. So actually it kind of looks like a W, doesn't it? A flattened W. Now I'm going to do some pause. Out, out. Uh-oh. And I'm going to bring the pause back and up. Now, if you turn this over, now if we look, this is the front view of Peter Rabbit, right? If you want to learn how to make a carrot, they are long, narrow letter V's. With a curve on the top, a long, narrow letter V with a curve on the top. And then they have a very frilly, you could describe it as frilly, lacy leaves. So start from the center of the carrot, go up and out, up and out. Little bunnies like to eat this part too. And then this is just frilly, so we can make little lines coming out here. So I'm coming up like the letter V. See how I make little V lines? Curve with little frillies. And now, if you turn this over, now if we notice, let's look at this for a second and think about this. If we have the front view, this is a front view bunny. So if we, would we see the tail? Would we see the tail if we looked at it at this perspective? Would the tail be here? No, it would not be. The tail is on the back side of the bunny. So look, if you want to put a fun little tail on the back. And then, this is kind of fun. The end. If you want to view these in my gallery, you can go to Facebook and go to it's the Art Lady Gallery. But you want to make sure that you type in the word the Art Lady Gallery. And I will post some examples that my six-year-old kids did and my 7-year-old kids. And this is an example right now of a little girl from my live class today, and she's 6 years old, and she just made Peter Rabbit's bunny. Now we're going to be coloring these in with some water-soluble crayons. It's actually, I call them paint sticks. And then we will paint them, and I will post them when they are done. I hope you enjoyed the tale of Peter Rabbit.